Chris, what's the message that Devon Witherspoon sent to the nation yesterday and to Seahawks fans?
I'm him.
Wrong. I mean, yes. Yeah, it's fine. But Bump, the message was, hey, it's okay that you didn't get Jalen Carter. I can be pretty dang good also. And I can affect your defense in a really similar way by changing this game and turning things around. I know the Giants are really, really bad. I know that. I understand. But anyone trying to take too much away from Devon Witherspoon, what he did last night, is not just accepting that number 5 overall picks can look a bit different. When you see that talent out there, like, look, I know some guys don't hit, but there are times when you see a guy and you're like, that's why these guys get selected so early. That was Devon Witherspoon.
Yeah, number 5 picks come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, just like America.
Right.
Take a walk down the street.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, I saw a tweet that said Seattle's the GQ said Seattle is the worst dressed city in the country.
That's true. That's
has
facts.
nothing to
I'll
do
say
with
that
what
to
I'm going to
face.
comment on with Witherspoon.
No, but I will just say,
that.
Seattle is a place where, like, you can go to a really nice restaurant and people are borderline, like, I'll wear socks with sandals.
Yeah.
Not me. But yeah,
No,
Seattle's
not you.
very poorly dressed city.
But no, Witherspoon reminded people that sometimes it's not always the obvious pick. Sometimes you have to go with your analysis. This is like some baseball stuff, right? Going with the data, going with the analysis. This guy fits our defense because of this, and this is what we want. It also speaks to the interview process. I think that that's important. I've worked with people that I didn't want to work with because of their personality, but it made sense
right here.
business-wise.
Yeah, dude, we're on the same show with you.
Literally staring at you right now.
Never you guys. But it made sense on paper. So you force a relationship, and then once you get into it, you're like, I knew this was going to happen, right? Personality-wise, I knew this wasn't going to work. And I think that the Seahawks have done a good job of getting guys they think are going to fit what they're going to do. You're not going to be 100%. You're not going to get it right all the time. But with this number 5 pick, you had to get it right. You had to. And so far, man, every time you see Devon Witherspoon, he's getting better and better. He's making tackles for loss, 2 sacks, pick to the house. I mean, last year we had a rookie have a pick to the house against Detroit. We got another rookie in the secondary pick to the house. So they're doing something right with their evaluation. So, man, good for them.
You've also now got 2 separate games where you've had a pick 6. Like, you're getting this thing going. I know that you're allowing, passing yards, and you've got to cut that down. Now, this game was an exception to that. But outside of week 1, you've had big plays in every game. And that's really important defensively. Ryan Clark talking about Witherspoon's game.
You know what was amazing? It wasn't a fluke. No. Right? Like this is a guy who was vital to this team tonight. Kobe Bryant, who was the normal starter at nickel, he was inactive tonight. Jamal Adams starts to play. There's so much excitement around it. He makes the big hit early on in the game. They're going to play big nickel, so you can use him with Q Diggs and also Love on the back end. He goes out. So now you move Devon Witherspoon into that spot, and it could be a letdown. It could be a lack of physicality. The thing that stood out the most to me when he walked up here, he's a little dude. He's not a big human.
No,
and the
he's
physicality that he showed in the run game, also rushing the passer, was the thing that tells you this is the guy who can play both inside and out and be extremely impactful.
Bump, I understood why there were comparisons being made and conversations being had about Jalen Carter to start his season. I was one of the people having those conversations. Like, hey, I sure hope that we see some good stuff from Witherspoon because the Seahawks had a chance to add a difference maker to their defensive line. They chose not to. They know more than I do about this situation. They felt Witherspoon was a better fit. I hope that we see that reflected on the field really soon, and we have. That's really important to set that tone early and to come out and be like, hey, I know that you think, that a defensive lineman can have more an effect on a game. And granted, defensive ends are the second highest paid players in football behind quarterbacks, like the best defensive ends, that is. Corner can still have an effect on a game. He can still have an impact on this game, especially if he's used creatively. And I think that this is the version Pete Carroll and John Schneider had in mind.
Who's the last defensive back for the Seahawks to have a great impact on a game in a season?
Jamal
Adams. What they do with him. Lined him up in the box and got after the quarterback. So with the way the game is going, like football, lots of people want to spread them out, 10 personnel. Sometimes there's no running back out. You go empty. Because the game is being spread out so much, you need to have a good nickel. And when you have a good nickel, you can do the things that You hear Ryan Clark talk about with Devon Witherspoon, blitzing the quarterback. You're good in space. You can make the tackles. Sometimes you have to set the edge or fill the alley. You're going to be asked to make tackles because when you come out of nickel, you take a linebacker off and you can still run the football. You got to make plays. So Devon Witherspoon is saying, I'm a complete football player. I'm not just here to tackle the perimeter, to get interceptions. I can get after the quarterback. Last night, he did everything possible he could do at that position. 2 sacks, TFLs, open field tackles, pick to the house. There's nothing else that he can do as a football player on that field. He checked all the boxes. So it's about being versatile. With the way offenses are going, you got to have versatile guys on that back end, and they found one in Devon Witherspoon. Also, that was part of the plan. Ryan Clark said it wasn't a fluke. No, it wasn't a fluke. We felt going into this game that because of Trey Brown being out, you're going to lean on Mike Jackson on the outside because he's next up. Mike Jackson doesn't play that nickel spot. It's natural to move Devon Witherspoon in. And then when you go back to training camp, that's where he was primarily playing to start. So it was all by design, and it has to feel good if you are Clint Hurd and Pete Carroll to say, okay, this is how we're going to use this young man, and then he goes out and validates all your decisions.
Yep, exactly. Let's see. Last couple minutes here. I want to play this cut, not necessarily because it tells us anything new about Devon Witherspoon. I just think that Devon Witherspoon in this cut is pretty funny. He's talking about what was going through his mind kind of heading into the end zone.
Just don't get caught. But I'm really mad at Reek and J Love because they made me look slow. They can't even walk me down, they made me look slow. But shout out to them for sure. But I was just trying to get to the box, man. That was an incredible moment for me. First career pick is a pick 6 on Monday Night Football, man. It don't get no better.
Just don't get caught. Really mad at Reek and Love for making me look slow. Y'all, I was rewatching this several times. I'm surprised Julian Love was as fast as he was. Reek Wolin could outrun any one of the people running down the field in that moment. Like, he's like slowing himself down a little bit. This guy is so fast. If I was Love, I'd be doing the same thing. Let me have this moment.
Yeah, Reek was out there coasting.
Yeah, I was going to help him out with some blocks.
It was all form. You look at Julian Love. Julian Love looked like that's all he had in his body. Julian Love was pumping those arms, and then
he was being a good teammate.
You got Devon Witherspoon somewhere in the middle. But yeah, you look at this defense. This is one of the faster defenses in the league. I don't know what the miles per hour are. I think Devon Witherspoon was the second fastest player last night. He reached about 20 miles per hour. Reek could have got 22 if he really wanted to. But it's nice to have speed on this defense and guys in the secondary who are willing to work, man, because J Love was hustling, man. He got back there and made sure that Witherspoon got the bag.